following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport and Simulations live on PTRTV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go three wide. No one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down the cloud. A huge move down the cloud of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's gonna be a photo finish to the line. Who's gonna get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the trial.
Photo finish.
2x2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome race fans to PTRTV on LSRTV. Tonight's coverage is of the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. We're doing 84 laps at the Kentucky Speedway under the lights tonight for some exciting racing. In the booth tonight is myself, Corey Silva, and Evan Black. I'm working the cameras, and we have Joe Chris behind the scenes helping us out with the calls tonight. Evan, Kentucky Speedway, obviously it's the older version of Kentucky Speedway with all of the bumps, and obviously we don't have the reconfigured surface, so what are we going to expect tonight?
Kentucky, it's a very fun track. It's a very tough track. Very high speeds, but not much banking, and there's a ton of bumps out there. This track is very multi-groove. You can run first, second, third. I don't think we'll see anyone up in the 4th or 5th lane, but you can definitely run at least 3 lanes.
Yeah, and you'll see these drivers all over the speedway as they struggle through what kind of almost is like a washboard type approach with hitting the bumps and just going all over the racetrack. That'll add some interesting racing to it and just some strategy as the race does play out. Right now these drivers have completed qualifying and just waiting. I think they're going through some kind of driver's briefing or something on those lines. So about a minute to kill before their gridding begins. Weather conditions tonight are cloudy, 83 degrees in the air, 83 degrees on the track, almost a 13 mile an hour north wind. Maybe that'll have some effect on the handling. So just more factors to bring into tonight's race. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully we've done some homework, and hopefully tonight's race does go a little bit better technically than last night's does. So hoping we can bring you tonight's action uninterrupted. So again, Evan, how about we have a quick glance at the points while we have the opportunity?
Yeah, right now Brian Yazik leading the points, Jared Mogard in second, but Yazik, he's got a 34-point lead, but he's back in the 14th position in qualifying right now, so we'll see if he can work his way up through the field. Nicholas Curling in third, Mitchell Brown in fourth, and Jason Stewart in fifth. Corey?
Yep, and then in the 6th spot in points we have, as I on the wrong page right here, there we are, 6th in points, Devin Serra. Remember, he got parked after his gateway move for the win, so first race for him back on the track since that move. Jordan Ashland in 7th, Sam Maxwell in 8th. Then we have Joseph Seville and Tom Gianni in the 10th spot. But that is the end of qualifying. These guys will get themselves situated onto the starting grid. So, well, let's bring it to you. The PTRTV on LSRTV starting lineup here from the Kentucky Speedway. On the pole with a lap time of 32.224 seconds is Jordan Ashland. Congrats to him on that lap. Jared Mogard outside of the front row. Then we have in the 3rd spot is Tyler Seville with Jared Haggerty in 4th. Mark Emerson in 5th, Tim Knott in 6th, Clarence Bonner and Nick Curling 7th and 8th.
Nick Cohen rolling off in 9th, Devin Serra to his outside, Zach Calloway in 11th, Sam Maxwell in 12th, Jeffrey Ford in 13th, Brian Yazik in 14th, Andy Veltman in 15th, and Brad Cross in 16th.
Dylan Hickey in 17th, Troy Haight at the 18th spot, Mark Cohn in 19th, Stephen Trombley rounding out the top 20. Then we have Scott Holler and Kevin Mingus 21st, 22nd, Pete Baskins and Robbie Baskins, row of the Baskins in row number 12.
And then we have John Kennedy in 25th, Scott Smith 26th, Jordan Harnish 27th, Jay Grace Jr. 28th. Then we have Michael Krobik, Jim Foose, Kenny Baker, and Kurt Quist. Then rest field, Justin Rector, Brandon Kreutz, Josh Walker, and Chris Titus round out this 36 truck field.
Tommy Cannon, Trevor Brownlee, Richard Fletcher, Steve Buhala, and I'm not sure about Jason Stewart, but at least those drivers will be packing it up on the haulers here tonight.
Stewart will be making it in due to his provisional, so I'm assuming that will mean that Chris Titus will not be racing.
Yep,
as he had the 36th position.
Yep, it is a hard 36 truck cap for these races, so those drivers did not make it in on time, but Stewart, being a regular, has that provisional in his pocket, so good thing he does have it because he needed it here tonight. Kentucky, a difficult track, but a lot of the regulars up front that we're used to, Evan, we have Jordan Ashland, we have actually Clarence Bonner up there as well. We don't see him up in this exact position, but as you said, Brian Yazik, not where we expect him to be tonight.
Seems like there's quite a few times where Yazik, he just does not qualify very well, but he always finds a way to get to the top 5 very quickly, so we'll see if that will be the case here tonight at Kentucky and if he can get up there into the top 5.
Yeah, it'll be one quick pace lap as we get racing here tonight. Coming through 1 and 2 is that number 27 of Jordan Ashland. Remember, this is going to be a short race, Evan, only 84 laps, so it's most certainly just going to be a one-stop race unless we have some cautions interrupting the strategy. So these guys aren't going to have a lot of time to gain those spots back.
Yeah, they're more than likely just going to split it up around lap 42 or so, unless, like you said, if there's cautions, that's going to completely change how these drivers are going to deal with this race.
Yeah, they're going to have to make those strategy calls. How important will tire wear be? We don't quite know that answer, so how will that be? Will 2 tires be a call? Will these guys be staying out? Will we go green? These are all answers that we will have to figure out in 84 laps of competition. I want to thank everyone for spending their Tuesday night with us here on PTRTV on LSRTV. A night of truck racing on the docket tonight. Pace car is in the pit road waiting for Jordan Ashland in the 27 to get this race underway. There he goes. We're racing in Kentucky.
Ashland got a really good start there over Jared Mogard, who now has the 11 of Tyler Seville trying to get underneath him. He is at his door down into turn number 1. We'll see if Seville can clear him here. He has a preferred lane here for 1 and 2, but Mogard is going to fight back on that outside and probably clear him down the back.
Outside, if anything, is the preferred lane here at Kentucky. You don't want to be right on that yellow line, at least in my experiences here. Mogard into P2, the position for P3 still up for grabs right now. Seville has cleared. Here comes Haggerty trying to get that run up top.
Haggerty was all the way up in that third lane and now trying to get to the outside of Seville. Mark Emerson trying to make it 3 wide there on the bottom, but Haggerty's not going to be able to get there. Neither is Emerson. So right now the 11 is going to hold on to that spot down into 1 and 2. Emerson all on that yellow line. And he's going to get a pretty good run over that 11. I think the 11 is a little bit slower than these guys here right now, but 6 is giving him bump draft down the back.
Got to be careful with that with all the bumps here at Kentucky. He gives him the space he needs on the entry of corner number 3. You can see the 11 of Seville really using that banking up there on the third groove. A little bit smoother up there. That allows him to keep that run going on top of the number 22 of Emerson.
But down into 1 and 2, they're still going to be side by side, but we'll see if the outside lane will work or if the bottom will work. Well, he's through the center. The 22 has the advantage. He's going to clear him, but is he going to be able to shut the door?
Whoa!
Barely.
He didn't. That door wasn't able to be shut, but he forced it.
He didn't shut it. He slammed it.
Yeah, that door was definitely slammed, and a little bit of contact, maybe a little bit of damage. I don't think any, but there was a little bit of contact made. But they'll be side by side, the 11 and the 6 for the 4th spot, side by side after that, and then a gaggle behind them.
Yeah, I don't think that hurt the 11, at least damage-wise, but it's going to cost him a spot, maybe 2 here, as Haggerty's trying to get by him down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Haggerty all the way on that yellow line. And Evan, as I said in the pre-race, things may have changed since last I drove at Kentucky frequently anyways, but I don't remember wanting to run down there on that yellow line.
Well, you want to run down there in qualifying. It seems like, at least in race conditions right now, you want to be in that 2nd or 3rd lane. But is that just going to be for passing, or we'll see here what Haggerty and the 11 do now that they're kind of singled out, if they're going to go right back down to the yellow line or where they're going to run. We'll see here, and looks like they're going right down to that bottom lane.
Yeah, the grip that is given with the night conditions may be helping it out. It is flatter down there, so it's a little bit harder to keep that truck planted down there. It makes you want to drift up, which is why most drivers will run right on that seam there, giving you that extra banking to help that truck turn.
Seems like if you want to pass, you need to be in that top lane, but if you're just running by yourself or trying to catch someone, you want to be in that bottom.
Some drivers cutting down there onto the black portion of the front straightaway there. That is a dangerous move. There's a lot of bumps down there. We've seen in the real NASCAR world that some cautions have come out from drivers running down there on the flat.
Brian Yazek already up to the 10th position, that 55 machine, and now trying to get by the 45 for the 9th position. Yazek is on the outside of Kerwin, but through 3 and 4. Kerwin's going to clear, but Yazek's going to get the run out of 4 and probably clear him down the front.
Yazek taking no prisoners. He squeezed that truck there on the top of the racetrack, able to clear. Sam Maxwell, the 98, will try to fill in the gap and carry him through. I don't know if that's going to work. The 45 is going to dive to the inside and try to keep some momentum. Cannot do so. Here comes Maxwell.
Maxwell trying to get around Kerwin, and it looks like he's going to do so down the backstretch. Yeah, Maxwell is going to clear, but is Kerwin going to be able to fight back into 3 and 4? He's going to try to, but Maxwell's going to shut the door on him, so Maxwell now up to the 9th position.
Yep, battles all over the track right now, but up front it has spread out just a bit. Jordan Ashland has pulled away by about a half a second, so let's bring up our lap graphic here and show you who's the fastest of the top 10 drivers at the moment. And actually, last lap, the 00 had him by just a little bit, so Mogard just a little bit quicker. We'll see if that trend continues.
Yeah, by about 800ths of a second, we'll see what it is here this time, if Mogard can keep that up. If he can, he should be there here in about 5 laps or so.
Yep, but obviously passing him is a separate task from getting to him. Again, a little bit faster that lap. Faster than all of them in that group was actually Mark Emerson, who's 1.2 seconds behind these guys, but just showing that little bit of extra speed. This is usually the point in the runs, Evan, where drivers who save their tires a little bit on those opening laps, they usually start getting their advantage right around this time.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's what's going on with Mogard and Emerson being a little bit quicker than Ashland, if he burned his tires up a little bit too much trying to get a lead early. We'll see here, and actually Ashland was quicker than Mogard last time, but Emerson had both of them.
Yeah, the gap staying about stable at 0.6 of a second between first and second, but another half second back to Emerson, another second back to Seville. And then after that, these guys are all pretty much under a blanket still. Brian Yazek picking these spots off. He was in 10th a couple laps ago. Now he's trying to get 7th. Clarence Bonner in that number 13 machine. But here comes Maxwell digging on that yellow line, trying to get underneath him.
Yeah, Maxwell, he started back in 12th, so he's up a few spots as well. Now trying to get by Yazik, but that 55 got to run out of the corner and now trying to look underneath Bonner, but now pulling back in line through 1 and 2. See what happens here as Maxwell once again trying to get underneath him, but losing the nose on exit and sliding up way up the track.
Battle for position a little bit up ahead of this. Tim Knott in the 41, trying to get underneath that 11 of Tyler Seville, who, remember, he was up there, but maybe on the way back as this run progresses, but using that arc, using that overspeed on the top groove off corner number 4. He'll prevail for the time being, and now watch Nick Cohan in the 57 closing in on this battle.
It's not going to be able to get to him before 1 and 2, but we'll see if he can get the run through this set of corners here. It's getting a pretty good run so far out of 2. We'll see if he can keep it up down the back stretch. It looks like he's going to have the run to make the move. Is he going to just choose to? And it looks like Knott is going to give him the outside lane. We
saw the number 6 machine, Jared Haggard. He had a little bit of connection issue, so now he's 5 laps down, and he merged on the back straightaway behind this. But here comes the 57 of Cohan trying to get to the top of the racetrack. He's trying to get to that right rear of Tim Knott. That'll give him the position entering corner number 1. He's going to have to dive for it. I don't think he's going to get it this lap, but he is ready to make a move.
And there he's making the move right now out of 2. He got a good run through that corner and got to his right rear, now at his door, and now even with him down into 3 and 4. We'll see if he can clear. Not driving in pretty deep down into the corner, trying to get back ahead. But out of 4, it looks like the 41's going to lose the nose just a little bit and allow Cohan to clear.
Yes, he will. So move Cohan up to the 5th spot, Knott back to 6, right behind Knott. That's Brian Yazik. So we talk about him making these moves, but that's exactly what that 55 does. He doesn't start up front, but he always finds a way to finish there. 14 laps in, he has passed Clarence Bonner. Bonner not going down without a fight, as he is trying to take a look. He's going to sail it off in there into corner number 3, right to the yellow line, but Yazik has that speed up on that second groove. Here comes the number 98 to the top of Bonner.
And there's Haggerty trying to get by both of them. He's on those a little bit fresher tires. So that's really going to help him out getting by both the 98 and the 13. Which Haggerty, he might be able to get one of his laps back this run.
Yeah, remember he had that connection issue, dropped out. He's 6 laps back on the scoring pylon now. As you said, Evan, on these tires, he might get 5 laps down, but I don't see much more happening. We do have kind of a green flag flare to this race, knock on wood. Positions still changing up front. Cohan and Seville going back at it. That's bringing a whole bunch of trucks into this battle as well.
Yeah, Cohan just on the quarter panel of that 11 machine down into turn number 1. Right on that yellow line. He's going to clear him through the corner, but he's not going to be able to shut the door, or will he? It's going to be close, and he's going to shut the door right on that 11. 11 trying to do the crossover down into 3 and 4. See if he can make it stick down there on that yellow line, which has not been where you want to be to pass. And it looks like the 57 of Cohan is going to be able to clear him once again, and he's got Haggerty right behind him.
Yeah, Haggerty is going to have to play nice, but he wants to get by as quickly as he can. They will single out, make his job a little bit easier in that endeavor. Here he goes to the top of the track on top of the number 11 of Seville. And this battle essentially goes on all the way to about Nick Curling. Actually, I'll go a little bit farther, all the way to Zach Calloway. So we're going from 4th to 11th, all within a long string, maybe about a second of each other. Then we go back a little bit further, we find Brad Cross, Jeffrey Ford. And after that, we string up, but then we have another gaggle going on about the late teens, early 20s right now. 3 wide these guys are. Stephen Trombley nearly in that 78. Troy Haight always up there as well. Michael Krobik usually a little higher in the field. He's not doing too well tonight in the 18th spot.
Mogart are starting to reel in our leader back up front. About a quarter of a second difference right now.
Yeah, I remember
last time by, he was about 900s quicker and caution.
Oh, no. Who is that? Well,
it's Brandon Kurtz.
Evan, we didn't have a pre-race bet on when Brandon was going to have problems tonight, did we?
No, we didn't.
Oh. Well, either way, let's see what happened to him. He got loose and he hit the wall. Pretty, not much interpretation there. Just couldn't hang on to it off corner number 4. Let's go on board with him. See, he's got low. Maybe got 2 wheels on the the yellow line there. That might have got him a little bit loose, but
he says his wheel came unclamped.
Well, that'll also do it as well.
Which is never fun.
Especially on a bumpy track. If you don't have your equipment fully tacked down on a bumpy track like this, if you have that force feedback turned up, and that's always something that can happen. But here comes everyone down to the attention of their pit crews. 19 laps in, taking lap number 20. I would expect 4 tires and fuel. I don't think strategy is really in a position to be called at this point, but hey, we've seen it before, so let's see.
Yeah, they slowed down about a second already, so I would assume everyone's going to come down and get 4 tires. Which I think that's probably going to be what pretty much everyone does every single pit stop tonight, because tire wear is usually pretty bad here. But Jordan Ashland, he missed his pit stall a little bit there, had to pull up again. So that's probably going to give the lead over to Mogard.
Yeah, we know how important that is. We know how difficult it is to nail that pit entry. These pit boxes are relatively short. Here comes
and
Mark.
There's Emerson getting the lead.
Yes, it is. And 27 goes back to the 4th spot. Brian Yazik up to 3rd. That number 55 crew gained him about 4 spots on that pit stop. So that's going to help him out. It only took him 20 laps to go from 14th to the top 5. So let's see what that 55 has to offer for these guys tonight. So as we are 20 laps into this race, Crute stays on track. I think he's trying to take the wave around. He's maybe not. Oh, actually, no, pits aren't open for him. So carry on. He's going to pit this time by, get that damage fixed. We will cycle through having the number 22 lead this race. So I'll just give you a quick field rundown of at least the top 10 at the moment. Mark Emerson leading his first laps of the race after coming out of pit road first. Jared Mogard started second. We're still running in second. Brian Yazik up 11 spots to the 3rd spot. Jordan Ashland back to 4th after that pit stop. And then we have Tim Knott in 5th. Tyler Seville in 6th. Sam Maxwell in 7th. Jeffrey Ford running in 8th. And then Clarence Bonner and Brad Cross are your top 10 after 21 laps here tonight at Kentucky.
White's still on the pace car, so probably going to get the 1 degree next time by.
Now, Evan, I would assume, just on the off chance that this does go green, would you say probably about 50 laps would be the max fuel load?
I would say about 50 laps.
So
45 to 50, so that means they still will need to pit 1 more time.
And that would be with about 10 to 13 to go. So if this does go green, some strategy will have to be played. I'd imagine they would split the difference and just split the race in half and do 30-lap runs. We've seen various times that that's not the approach. We've seen drivers pit late and chase the guys down. We've seen drivers pit early and hang on at the end. So if that does happen, it'll be an interesting race to follow. But are we done having cautions yet? Actually,
maybe.
Well, you figured that was a single truck wreck. So these guys have been racing pretty respectfully. They did spread out a little bit, so this race could go green. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. So
I think if they can get about 5 to 10 laps in, let it get a little bit spread out, I think it'll go green for the solid 30, 40, 50 laps.
Which is the duration of the race, essentially.
Pretty much. About 62 more laps or so.
But lights out on that Ford Mustang pace car, and we're going to get them going once again tonight. 22 of Mark Emerson. He will be the control truck on this start. And Jared Mogard to the outside. Tim Knott and Jordan Ashland. Well, actually, I'm going to take that one back. Brian Yazik and Jordan Ashland will encompass row number 2. So coming through 3 and 4 all doubled up. Evan, how about you get us going for this first restart of the night?
Coming through 3 and 4 now. Gonna be interested to see how Yazik does up here up front, and gonna be interested to see how Ashland does back there in 4th. Farthest back he's been all night. I wonder if we'll be able to get back up to the front, but pace car getting ready to pull down into pit road. There it goes, now waiting on Emerson and waiting for him to get this race back going. And there it goes, we're back underway here at Kentucky. And Ashland did not get going at all there.
No, he did not. A huge advantage to Mark Emerson on this restart. Here comes Brian Yazik going for second. right off the get-go, and he'll actually, I don't think he'll clear for it quite yet. Mogard's going to power on that outside groove, try to hang along with him. He'll do more than just that. I think he'll actually clear him back after off corner number 2.
Ashland and Mogard both did not get very good restarts up there in the top lane, but they're both going to hang on to their respective spots. We'll see here out of turn 4 if Yazek can try and fight back and get around that double zero. Does not look like he's going to be able to now. Will Mogard be able to track down that 22 of Emerson?
We'll see if that does happen. There is a gaggle of trucks behind them, Evan. They are going absolutely bonkers trying to gain these spots off this restart. 2 by 2, Tim Knott and Jeffrey Ford. Then we have Sam Maxwell, 45, and Nick Curl and Clarence Bonner. These guys are restrictor plate racing, looking like at Kentucky entering corner number 3.
Looks like Tim Knott is going to clear for that 6th position, but Jeffrey Ford is going to try and do the crossover out of 4. He's going to take a look underneath them. Not sure if he's going to be able to get to his quarter panel. Not going to be able to. 41 shuts the door.
Yeah, let's see what happens in corner number 1 as they dive off in there. Single file they remain, the 95 and the 41, 98. But up front, it looks like we're going to have a battle shaping up. Top 4 under a blanket here. Mogard is stalking the back bumper of that 22. Brian Yazek also waiting to make a move as well. Here we come. Mogard maybe got a little bit higher up the track. That's going to cost him some time to that double zero.
Emerson, he's been in the run before. It didn't really look like he had a very good short run track, but in the long run he was really starting to track down the leaders. He's running faster than both of them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mogard get back by him here, but Emerson, he should be coming late.
Yeah, and the knowledge I've had, Evan, watching these guys for so long now, it doesn't seem like Mogard is a long-run driver, at least in the truck series anyways, so I'm expecting that 55 to make something work, and we'll see if the 22 could stretch the legs out, but he's going to have to hang on for the time being. Mogard is there. Looks like he's going to go high. Is he going to go low? He'll stay in line for the time being.
See Mogard trying to cut low on exit. He's going to be able to get to his quarter panel and to his door now. Even with them, we'll see if he'll be able to get by him here before 3 and 4. Not going to be able to get by him before 3 and 4. Now in the corners now, trying to see if he can get out of 4. He's pushing up, starting to lose the nose. That's going to give Emerson a run, and he's going to keep it at the line.
Yeah, and Brian Yazek is right behind this, trying to decide where he needs to go, which lane is going to give him that second spot, maybe even the lead. Mogard's going to wash up the track on the entry at turn number 1. That got a little bit of contact with the 22, but it didn't help the double zero at all. If anything, it helped the 22. Here comes Yazek to the top of Mogard.
Now will Yazek be able to clear Mogard before turn 3? No, he's not going to be able to. Going through 3 and 4 now, and Mogard's starting to lose the nose again, but the 55 is going to clear him for P2, and now can Yazek do anything with the leader of Emerson?
Yep, here comes Yazek trying to go for the lead. Here comes Ashland trying to get a spot back. The double zero shut the door in the tri-oval. Ashland did not like that. Showed him with the back bumper on corner entry, but does back off. Allows him to make the turn, but these guys are racing hard.
Yazek started in 14s, took him 30 or 29 laps to get up to P2. And now he's going to try and get P1 over Emerson out of 4. He's got to run, but he's not going to be able to get to his quarter panel yet. Ashland's still trying to get by Mogard a little bit further back there. Ashland once again taking a look to the outside, but staying in line for now.
Yes, he is. These guys are, let's see, they are a little bit, 10 laps into this run, so the tires are just now starting to fall off. The Dr. Feelgoods no longer feel as good. So we'll see which driver has the better handling, who maybe has a little bit left on the tires to make the run last longer. Yazek all the way to the yellow line there in 1 and 2, rather 3 and 4. Didn't gain him any time, but he is looking high, looking low, ready to take the lead.
Emerson, it looks like it's starting to even out a little bit. He's starting to gain a little bit of speed here. Down into turn 1, he gained a lot there, but we'll see if he can hold it on the exit of turn 2. Yazek is going to gain it all back and then some. Actually pretty even out of 2. Yazek did gain some, but not too much.
You can see Yazik using that second lane throughout the whole turn. Emerson choosing to run the low line. That's going to definitely give Yazik the runoff corner exit. He's going to use that to his advantage. Right now, lap number 31 complete. Yazik within inches of the back bumper of Emerson. He's going to try to look high. You can see him just taking a slower corner entry, trying to maximize that and give him the better corner exit. As we come off corner number 2 down the back straightaway, didn't look like it worked for him that time.
Yeah, pretty even attitude and down the back. We'll see here in 3 and 4 if he's going to once again run higher. Yes, he will. Emerson back down on that yellow line. Looks like he might have got a little bit loose there and losing the front of the car as well. Yazik got the run, but Emerson is doing a really nice job. I didn't think it's going to be able to hold on the short run.
Yeah, and also Mogard is trying his hardest to give Yazik fits while Yazik's trying to make that move. And then remember Jordan Ashland, who lost the lead in 3 other positions on that initial pit stop. He's back and forth, hasn't been able to gain anything back, but is just ready to pounce whenever something happens in front of him.
See here, Yazik is starting to get a run, but so is Mogard. I don't know if Mogard's going to be able to get to his quarter panel, but he's got a run on Yazik. He's going to look to the outside down into turn 1, but going to pull back in line and not going to be able to get there.
No, he will not. Yazik trying to play some defense right now. Mogard trying to use the offense, which is going to be the better strategy, which is going to look better. Caution will interrupt all of that. And it's Robbie Baskins backwards in, I believe it to be corner number 4. Let's go on to the replay and let's see what happens. Well, that's not showing us anything. Well, sorry for that, folks. I thought we were going to be able to show you what happened there, but didn't want to work it how I wanted it to. Well, let's try again right now. I think we might have it. Nope, no we don't. So sorry about that. Replay is throwing fits on me, so apologies for that. But let's go back and cover pit stops, which will happen presumably as we come through 3 and 4.
Yeah, they ran about 15 laps there. They're definitely going to come down pit road, and I would think 4 tires after that 15-lap run with all the fall-offs that they had. So we'll see here, though.
Yeah, this will pretty much put this race at halfway, a little bit short of it. Here we come down pit lane. Let's see if the 27 has a better stop, can gain some time back. Will anybody else have a worse pit stop and lose some time? We'll find that out as here we come for the second set of stops tonight.
Yeah, it was like the first one to his pit stall as he started in 14th.
He's going to have that stall further down pit lane compared to the other drivers. Looks like everyone had a clean entry into their pit stalls.
See who's going to get the race off pit road. Emerson.
And Yazik.
He's going to get second.
Yazik will get P2.
Mogard taking a souvenir with him. You got the cone a little bit there.
Alright, we're going to take one last stab and try to see what happened to Robbie Baskins if we can. No. We're there. Oh, no, we don't have the technology. Oh, yes. Oh, there we go. We finally got it on screen, and I don't know why it wants us to see this tunnel so badly. But here we go. Looks like there might have been some connection issues, but regardless, looks like Jason Stewart maybe got him in the right rear, which sent him directly up the track into the 1 and 2 barrier. Again, I don't know what's going on causing that camera to be all funky right there, but whatever we got.
It's just a beautiful tunnel.
It is a good tunnel. Let's see if the pace car will give us 1 to go. It will not, so at least another lap, well, 2 laps of pacing to go through here. We'll get going about on lap number 40, lap number 39, I do believe to be exact. So that'll put us in a window where we do not need to pit anymore. Evan, 44 laps. I mean, they can't split the difference there. There's not enough time. They will have to stay out.
Well, they can, but they're not going to win the race if they do.
Yeah,
tire fall off is pretty big, but it's not that big.
Yeah, 22 laps is not going to be enough to get the, what is it, about 43 seconds of time back that you would lose by making that stop. So, I mean, from the driver's perspective, Evan, do you bank on another caution coming out and another stop, or do you have to start this run from scratch, saving the tires for a long run?
I think you have to save, because with Kentucky, these drivers probably know that it definitely could go green to the end. If they can just run a few more laps, get everything all spread out, they can easily run to the end. But if they don't get spread out, there's a caution. That's what makes it so hard. You really don't know if you need to push and use your stuff up early, or if you want to save for a 40-lap run to the end.
Yeah, I would definitely save and just pray that, and if the caution does come out, hopefully you haven't lost too many spots and you'll have that much shorter of a run to have to push for on the next stint. But lights out on the pace car. Let's go back racing in one more lap. And Evan, thank you for the behind-the-scenes confirmation that Robbie Baskins was having connectivity issues, which is why the camera was having fits there. I wish you told me that while I was struggling, but you were probably laughing in the background.
I was a little bit. But then I started to feel bad for you, so I helped you out.
Yeah, how rude. But here we come off of corner number 2. Mark Emerson retains the lead. Ryan Yazik on the outside. Can he get a good start from the outside groove? We have not seen it yet tonight. Jared Mogard will be in a very good position there on the inside of row number 2, and Jordan Ashland, he's been stuck in that 4th spot ever since he lost those positions on the first pit stop of the race. Can he gain some back right now? We still have 33 trucks on the lead lap. Only one truck out of the race. That's Robbie Baskins off that last caution flag. What's going to happen here as this race is just about to hit the halfway point? I hope everyone is enjoying the show here. PTRTV on LSRTV. Pace car pulls into pit road. When will Emerson go on the loud pedal? He's late in the box. There he goes on the loud pedal. We are racing yet again.
Once again, Ashland in that 4th position did not get going very well and held up that outside lane from the 2nd row back. But we got a battle for 2nd. Mogart to the inside of Yazik down into a 1 and 2. Mogart up there in the 2nd lane, but out of turn number 2.
Yazik's going to watch out for the wall.
Yazik had a really big run, but he had to lift or it would have hit the wall.
But he holds off for and keeps P2. He wanted to do what Mogard did to him last time, powered on that outside groove. Those positions settle out. Let's give a quick glimpse to the guys mid-pack right now. That's where some hectic racing is going on. 2-3 wide at times as these guys are shuffling out for these positions. Kudos to the camera maker here from LSRTV for these fabulous shots we do have tonight. 3 wide later in the pack. Troy Hay, the 56 in the 4. Mitch Brown in the 18. That was nearly some contact off of corner number 2. These guys are going crazy. Pete Baskins, Jason Stewart, Jim Foose behind this. This is all in the early 20s. Want to give these guys some of their airtime tonight for the hard racing they are putting on. But we'll go back to the front, let you know what's going on. And Emerson is checked out to a half-second lead. Yazik is still in P2, but Mogard is all over him trying to get that spot back.
So I wonder if Emerson's going for a bit of a different strategy now that they've only had about 2 or 3 15-lap runs in this race, and just want to go a little bit harder early on here. And he just ran his best lap of the race, so he's picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, we know Yazik is going for the long-term approach right now, but I think Emerson is just going for it, and I think Mogard's on that same vein right now. He's going to go and clear for 2nd. Here comes Ashland, and he'll clear for 2nd as well. Will the 55 try to get the door open off corner number 2? He will, so not quite clear the 27 yet.
We'll see down into 3 and 4 if Yazik can make that outside lane work. Ashland's going to get a little bit checked up from Mogart, so that's going to allow Yazik to get a pretty good run through the center of the corner. But down the front stretch at 27, using the apron down there, that's going to allow him to gain a little bit of time back down here into 1 and 2. We'll see if that 55 can make that outside work, and it's going to be close, but he's going to hang right on his right rear quarter panel.
Yazik may be trying to save a little bit, but he is not backing down. He doesn't want to lose these spots because the more spots you lose, the harder it's going to be to gain them back, and you're not going to have too much time to work with. But Ashland struggling there on that inside groove. Yazik will still clear, but watch out, the 11 of Tyler Seville has joined the party.
Seville was taking a look to the outside, now pulls back in line, taking a look to the inside now, and now back in line as they enter the corner. Ashland trying to get underneath Yazik, but he lost the front of the nose there and slid way up the track that allowed Seville to gain even more time on him. But like you said, Corey, Emerson has checked out. He's got a second lead right now over Mogard. Yeah. The only worry for him is if he's killing his tires too much and this race could go green to the end.
Yeah, the 2 and 3 wide has fizzled out. We're single file for the top 8 spots. Maxwell and Cross had a battle for the time being, but that has fizzled out. And then right behind them, we have the 95 of Ford, Zach Calloway, Michael Krobik, and then we have some 2 wide racing going on. 57 of Cohan and the 41 of Tim Knott battling. Michael Krobik involved, and like I said, Tim Knott, Clarence Bonner, the 21 machine, Scott Smith. Devin Serra hasn't really shown too much tonight, only in the 16 spot.
Krobik up there having a nice run. He's in 11th. He started back in 29th, so he's passed a lot of trucks here tonight.
Yes, he has. He's just knocking on the door of the top 10, and that's in the realm for him to be able to get. He's not too far up, only 1 spot out of the top 10 at the moment, so he's got to keep digging and try to get it.
Well, Corey, 10 laps in, and Emerson is starting to lose some time here.
Yeah, down to a 3/4 of a second lead as we saw some nearly 3 wide racing going on back at the pack. It looks like that has settled out just a little bit, but yes, as you said, 3/4 of a second. Looks like Yazik is still holding him up there for third right now, with the 27 and the 11 behind him. Mogard trying to cut into the lead. We'll bring up the battle tracker and see who is the better of the 2 on lap number 47.
But the guys that are better than Ultimate, at least the last time by, are 5th, 6th, and 7th. We'll see here what it is this time.
About half a 10, maybe about 7/100ths in the direction of Mogard. That will shave the lead down again to about 3/4 of a second. It's kind of settling out there, at least for the time being. But look at Ashland. He is just all over the back of Yazik, but just can't find a way by.
Yeah, trying to get to his outside now. We'll see if he can get the run out of 4. He's got a pretty good run, does Ashland. We'll see if he's going to take a look to the inside. Now taking a look to the outside.
This might be the dagger if he can hold that line. And nope, he cannot do it. If you get to the right rear, that's a very easy pass to make once you get him stuck on the inside, but can't quite get there. Here comes Seville trying to dig down there on the yellow line.
Both of these drivers are really trying to get by Yazik. He is holding him up just a little bit, but I wonder if that's going to work out in the long haul for Yazik. If he's going to be better on this long run if it does go green, we will find out. Still about 35-ish laps to go.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose too much time. He's only about a second back, which I think is a good enough gap. But here comes the 27. He's in that spot he needs to be in at the right rear quarter panel. Sails it on in there on the outside, pulls door to door. Yazik's going to be compromised on that inside lane. Will not have the momentum. He'll wash up the track off corner number 2. But Ashland's still holding a pretty wheel up top. Let's see what he can do in 3 and 4.
It's here down into 3 and 4. If Ashland can clear him, Yazik fighting hard down in that inside lane, but Ashland is going to get by him out of 4, and now will Seville be able to get to his quarter panel? I don't think Seville is close enough to get up to Yazik. It's going to be close, but he's not going to get there.
Yeah, Ashland has cleared Yazik, and here comes Seville powering it to the inside of Yazik. So Yazik, if his strategy is to take it easy, he may have to light the fuse under that 55 because he's dropping back like a rock now. Might drop back to 5th. And then look who's right behind this. Nick Curling in the 45 closing on in. But we got to cut to the front of the field right now because look at that 3/4 of a second lead, Evan. It's gone.
Now down to about a 1/4 of a second is the lead over Emerson and Mogard. And again, about another 800ths or so quicker in the favor of Mogard. Last time by, we'll see if he can keep that up, and he's there. Can he get by him? Well, you've seen it has been very hard to pass here tonight at Kentucky. We'll see if he can get by him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen at Gateway there are various ways to get by people, but I don't think after what happened with the race control, they're going to want to take that approach. So he's going to have to get by the good old-fashioned way, which is just race your way by. And as we saw with Ashland and Yazek, his best approach, in my opinion, is to get to that right rear quarter panel on either of the two turns and sail it on in there. If you can pinch him to the inside, he should be all set.
See now the gap down to about a 10th and a half. So you go down into turn number 3 and 4. Mogard, he's really back in these corners up, trying to get the run on the exit of the corner. And we'll see if that works out for him here. Pretty even run-wise, it looks like. Gap now up to about 0.2 of a second, but Mogard down there running the apron. That gained him another 0.5 or so.
Yep, so they are kind of stabilizing out at the moment. Emerson has led a good portion of this race ever since he got the lead on his first set of pit stops. He has been the leader of the race. No one has passed him at all, so Mogard trying to change that fact. You can see the difference in lines, 22 right against the yellow line. Mogard running that second groove. Looks like, if anything, the 22 may have been the beneficiary on that low side.
But look who's coming. Jordan Ashland at 27. About 0.2 quicker than Mogard and a 1/10 quicker than Emerson last time by.
Yep, so we may have a battle, but he has to get by. That is the hard part of the race tonight. Evan, cut me off if we do have something come up front, but I do want to have a little bit of a field rundown here as this race is past halfway. Mark Emerson is your leader right now. Jared Mogard in second. Jordan Ashland in third. Brian Yazek in fourth. Tyler Seville is running in fifth. Nick Curling is running in sixth. Sam Maxwell 7th, Nick Cohan in 8th, Jeffrey Ford in 9th, and Zach Calloway is in 10th. We have Brad Cross in 11th, Tim Nutt in 12th, Clarence Bonner in 13th, Mitch Brown in 14th, Scott Smith in 15th, Michael Kurlbeck in 16th, Mark Cohn in 17th, Devin Serra, Kevin Mingus, and Pete Baskins round out the top 20. Then we have Jason Stewart 21st.
And
caution on
out.
the speedway. Jim Foose, actually no, it's not him.
To number 1. Mark Cohn.
Yep, Mark Cohn in that number 1 machine is slow on the back straightaway, so hopefully we avoid the tunnel and we can show you what happened. Oh, that was it's like some contact, a very hard contact with another driver. Well, looks like Sarah got into the left rear, but I do think the one may have came down a little bit. So,
yeah, I think the one was trying to get down to the bottom because Kurlbeck got a bit loose right in front of him. So Cohn was trying to get down to the bottom right as Sarah was coming up.
yeah, that's just going to be chalked as a racing deal, at least in our opinion, at least my opinion anyways. I think you agree with that, Evan. So you came up, I came down. We had a little bit of a wreck, but third caution of the race, and here we are for a set of pit stops. And
You know who didn't want to see that?
who is that, Evan?
Jordan Ashland. Because he was way faster than the top 2.
The long run speed was coming into play, and now we're only going to have a little over 20 laps, about 21 laps to play with to finish this race out. So you're not going to, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of conserving play. You're still going to have some degradation, but you're not going to be able to lay back and chill. You're going to have to make these moves now. So while this battle off pit road plays out, who's going to get it? Is it
Emerson, I believe.
We gotta
There he
go.
goes.
We're gonna go see that. That was a very close call. Ooh, that is a photo finish off the line, but that is definitely in favor of the 22. So we're gonna take a brief moment here, catch our breath, and get ready for what should be a very exciting finish. So stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerritt at the line.
And welcome back to PTRTV on LSRTV here at the Kentucky Speedway for the Sam Maxwell Customs 125 ASRS Sam Maxwell Truck Series. Here, getting ready to come back to the green. We're on the back straightaway on 1 to green.
That's a mouthful, isn't it, Evan? A lot of Sam Maxwell Customs in there, but title sponsor of the race. A big shout out to him for what he does for the series, helping out with the league with the sponsorship, title sponsorship of the league, and helping out with the race sponsors. So check out Sam Maxwell Customs for all your custom wheel needs. And here we go for a restart. Stephen Tremblay stays out, and he is going to be the leader of the race. Evan, take it away.
He's on 24 lap old tires. Coming through 3 and 4 now, waiting for the pace car to pull in. At 78, he's going to have to watch for wheel spin here as the pace car is in now. And he's on the throttle. Got a pretty good restart though. He's going to clear the 22, and battle is not even going to be for second as that 22 of Emerson got a good start there.
But he can go straight, but he has to turn, and that's going to be where his problem is. And look at Mark Emerson gain all that time. Look at everyone. He's going to be stacking the field up here. But everyone, at least the top 3, gets by cleanly. But what's going to happen when he falls in the pack?
We'll see here as Mark Emerson now back to the lead. He has led pretty much all of the after lap 20, he's pretty much led the whole race. As Tremblay is dropping way back now, already back to about the 6th position. And he's only going to drop even further back than that.
I'm not sure where he was running before that stop, but I don't even see this being a net gain for him. He'll definitely get the bonus point for leading the lap, but in terms of race performance, I don't think this call is going to help him out too much. But let's see what's happening up front. Mark Emerson, who's been up front, as Evan alluded to, for pretty much this entire race after that first caution. He has not been passed, and now he's going to come to take 22 laps to go, I believe. But Jared Mogard behind him, Jordan Ashland behind him, Brian Yazik all the way back to 6th as Tyler Seville and Nick Curling in the top 5. Here comes Ashland closing in on Mogard.
Ashland, he started on the pole, led the first 20 laps of this race, and now he's going to have to try and get back by Mogard and Emerson.
Yeah, he has a fast truck and just hasn't been able to gain the spots back that he lost. He's been playing from behind ever since about lap number 20. Single file for the first, well, probably about 11 spots. Some single from double file racing, Mitch Brown and Jeffrey Ford, Devin Serra, Clarence Bonner. That's all just outside of the top 10. Kevin Mingus, Tim Knott, and Scott Smith. Oh my, how many times?
Scott Speed?
How many times do I do that? It's getting absolutely absurd. But Scott Smith.
That's the first time I've heard you do that.
No, I've done it plenty of times, I think, with Brandon in the booth. But regardless, Scott Smith in that battle. I just see Scott and then I see an S, and my brain just makes a false connection there. But here comes Jordan Ashland. He's running that outside groove. Let's see if he can make that momentum happen down the back straightaway. Does not look like that's going to be the case. Looks like Mogard closing in just by a few inches to the back bumper of that number 22 as we are within 20 laps to go.
Coming to 19 to go this time. And Emerson, he seemed to be pretty good on the long run. We'll see if he can keep that up here, but Mogard almost to his quarter panel. Pulls back up in line behind him down into 1 and 2. Taking a look to the outside, not going to have enough of a run through the center of 1 and 2. We'll see here on the exit of the corner if he'll be able to. He's not going to get to his quarter panel.
No, he's not. He dropped back just by a little bit there off of 2 and down the backstretch. You can see the line differential. Mark Emerson has not given up that yellow line one bit tonight. And that just seems to be where he's comfortable running, and that's going to compromise him on exit. Mogard again with that run closes in a couple feet, even closer entering 1 and 2.
I think Emerson is a little bit better in 1 and 2, but Mogard is a lot better in 3 and 4. But even here in 1 and 2, you can see Mogard gaining on him. So that's a really good set of corners 1 and 2 there for Mogard. Down into 3 and 4 now. Taking a look to the outside once again. Now going to try use that second lane to his advantage and try and get the run. This is where he's been really good over Emerson in the past. Now Emerson going down to use the apron to block him a little bit. Down into turn 1.
Yeah, Mogard fell in behind. Looks like he's going to try the high line again. Maybe doing that high-low approach, trying to get that run down the back straightaway that he's been well known for tonight. Here he comes. He has a run door to door. They are side by side down the back straightaway. Entering corner number 3. Ashland is right behind them, but Emerson's trying to dig on that yellow line. That's where he's comfortable. So he's used to that groove, but it's still not going to have the momentum.
So going to be side by side at the stripe, but Mogard's going to get it. Almost contact there as Emerson's coming back up on the track. But down into 1 and 2. Emerson once again right on that yellow line. Ashland right behind them, and I believe Ashland is quicker than both of these drivers here. Emerson now falling back to the 3rd position as Ashland through to 2nd and Mogard through to the lead. And Ashland already taking a look to the outside of Mogard for the lead.
Yes, he is. So Emerson finally has been passed as we are on 16, coming to 15 laps to go. The 22 is now going to drop back, presumably to the 3rd position. And the question is going to be, can that 27 lead the beginning of the race and lead the end of the race? The middle went to his teammate in the 22, but we know how hungry Jared Mogard is after he had that win at Gateway took away from him. He's going to want some redemption, so he's going to have a battle on his hands to do so.
I think Ashland is a little bit quicker, but it's going to be really hard for him to get back up to his bumper and get by him. You can see how much ground he gained there just in 3 and 4 and down the front stretch. We'll see here through 1 and 2 if he can gain even more ground. Looks like he's going to be able to at least on entry.
And it's not to say that using the bumper is completely frowned upon and it's not allowed. What the league is frowned upon is intentional dumping, which we saw at Gateway. So it's not to say that Rubbin's not racing. We can still see these guys, you know, use the bumper and kind of rub doors a little bit. So don't take that out of consideration. It might have to be done.
See, but last time by, Mogard was a few thousandths quicker, about 5 thousandths. But Emerson has not let these guys get away.
Now remember, these are teammates. I don't know, being a mile and a half track, if team orders or team assistance can come into play, but I mean, they will probably do the best they can to make sure that a cold-blooded racing truck wins this race. So whatever they have to do, it looks like at the moment, as you said, Evan, we thought it was the 27 that was fastest, but that 22, he's hanging in there. He's actually doing really well from that 3rd spot.
He was the fastest truck on track last time by, so he just needs to get back by these guys. We've seen him be really good on the long runs, and that's really starting to show right now.
Yeah, I don't know if this qualifies as a long run.
Well, it's 15 laps in, so that's about how long the runs have been tonight, so I would consider it at least a medium-sized run.
Not a large run, not a small run, a medium run.
It's a medium run.
Well, speaking of a large run, that 27 had a run off of 4 and looked high down the front straightaway, but just not enough momentum to get to the right rear. But he is there. He's within about 5 feet of the back bumper of Mogard. He's going to stalk that 00, figure out where he's better, figure out where he's going to have to make that move.
So here down into 3 and 4, if he can get that run like he did last time, he's going to have a quarter panel on him if he can do that. We'll see here out of 4. I don't think he's going to get enough of a run to get there. And Emerson is starting to drop off just a little bit from these guys, but he's still hanging in there pretty good within about a half second.
Yeah, if anything does happen, he's definitely in a position to take advantage of it. See, Mogard maybe just washed up a little bit too high in corner 1 and 2. That allows that 27 to close in just a couple inches further. He is there. He's looking a little bit low. Is this a move? Is he just trying a different line out?
See here out of 4, and that actually worked quite well for Mogard. He got the run out of 4 and down the front stretch. 9 more laps for Mogard to hang on for this win. It's going to be hard for him to do.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of pressure from this 27 and 22.
I think that 27, that little bit lower of a line was not going to work for him in 3 and 4. I think you have to run that groove right where Mogard's running, right on that first seam. Left side's on the dotted line. And you can see he did that time by, and look at the run he got. He closed in right to the back bumper of Mogard. Battle for the lead, heating up here, 8 laps to go.
Right on his back bumper down into turn number 1. You take a look to the inside, then to the outside, not able to get up to him. We'll see here out of 2. Mogard starting to slide up the track, lose the nose. Ashland to the inside of Mogard for the lead, not going to be able to get to his quarter panel though.
Yeah, he's not there, but he's going to sail it on in there into corner number 3. That's not the move. He's going to lose his momentum off corner exit. He's going to have to gain some time back after that attempt. Coming to 7 laps to go, within 0.2 of a second, and Mark Emerson just behind if anything happens.
See here if 1 and 2, if Ashland can get that ground back here out of turn number 2 now down the backstretch, he definitely has a run. That's where he's been a lot better than Mogard. Pretty even in 3 and 4. We'll see if Ashland can get the run he needs to here in 3 and 4. Right in his tire tracks out of turn number 4.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do if that's not your strong suit. So just maintain, don't lose. He did exactly that. What's going to happen here? 6 laps to go. How is he going to make this move in 1 and 2? He's going to stay right in his tire tracks again, trying to cut a little bit lower, a little bit sooner off of corner number 2 as the 00 washes up the track a little bit, but that didn't lose him any time. The gap stays consistent.
So here in 3 and 4, is he going to stay right in the tire tracks once again? He's a little bit lower now as Mogard is kind of in the middle of the second lane. Ashland right on those seams, and it's going to work. Actually, is pretty even there. If anything, I'd say Mogard got a better run.
Yeah, the gap about a truck length in between the two. Last time by on the stopwatch, it did go to Mogard by about 0.5 tenth. So the 27's really going to have to get innovative here. He's going to have to find something, because I don't see him being able to complete the pass, at least from what we see thus far, with 5 laps to go, coming to 4 laps to go, coming through 3 and 4.
Ashland closed in a little bit there in 1 and 2, and now once again closing in 3 and 4. You got a good run out of 4. It's going to keep that up through the front straightaway, coming to 4 laps to go. Taking a look to the outside, now right back in line. Not going to be able to get to his quarter panel. Yes, he will. He's going to dive it down into turn 1.
He licked the stamp. He sent it on in there. He's going to slide jump. Slide jump. Couldn't do it.
Almost. But they're still going to be side by side down the back straightaway. We'll see if he can do that slide job once again here in 3 and 4.
Not a slide
job.
He's
close.
Gonna,
a little bit of contact, maybe, but the 27 got a little bit loose down there.
He's gonna have to abort. He has to abort because there's not enough time. He cannot afford that side by side. He's gonna lose some time. 3 laps to go. Now he's gonna be about 1/4 of a second back. This is gonna be a tough feat, but he's gonna have to do it if he wants to get this W.
It's going to be very hard for him to do so, but he had a good 1 and 2 there. He gained a lot of time, especially down the backstretch now. Down to about 0.2 of a second, separating those top 2 down into 3 and 4.
I know it's hard to wait, but that should have been his last lap move. Slide it on.
He had a run.
Slide it on in there, get side by side, and if anything, maybe this 8 wheels is better than 4 and 3 and 4. But there's 3 miles left here at Kentucky, and he's back. He got exactly the gap back that he had before, so now he's going to have 6.
He got a really good run through 1 and 2. He's going to get to his quarter panel down the backstretch if he chooses to do so. Yes, he will.
He's going to go for it. He has
down into 3 and 4. What's he going to do?
He's going to get into him. No, he's not. He barely keeps it off him, but here we come off of corner number 4. He's going to lose some time, but we're coming to the white flag lap here at Kentucky Speedway.
See, 1 more time for Ashland to try and make his move. Or I guess 2 more times, 2 more corners here. I don't think he's going to be able to get there.
He's going to have a masterful corner number 1 and 2 to gain about 1/4 of a second. I don't see it happening either, but we'll see what the end result is. Coming down the back straightaway, it looks like Mogard held a pretty steady wheel. He's not going to be able to do it unless he gets dirty, and I don't think he's going to do that. He couldn't even send it on in there, so Mogard will come through 3 and 4, facing the right direction this time. Into the fence is Ashland. It's not going to do anything. Jared Mogard takes the W in Kentucky.
And Jordan Ashland's going to come in with second, Mark Emerson in third.
So a very good finish. Jordan Ashland, absolutely give him a round of applause. He gave him a very hard battle, didn't rough him up. He didn't want to win he didn't want to win the bad way. Avoided contact, and he'll take a hard-fought second. Mark Emerson with the third. But again, congratulations to Jared Mogard. So we will let everyone complete the race here, get across the start-finish line, and we'll get you the final results here tonight from the Kentucky Speedway. So with the victory here tonight at Kentucky is Jared Mogard there. I had to think about that for a second. Jared Mogard leading 17 laps. Jordan Ashland leading 19 laps. Mark Emerson leading 45. We'll have to settle for a third. Nick Cohan and Nick Curling 4th and 5th. Zach Calloway in 6th. Tyler Seville in 7th. Brian Yazik in 8th. Devin Serra in 9th. And Sam Maxwell rounding out the top 10.
And Jeffrey Ford coming home in 11th. Mitch Brown started 42nd all the way up to 12th. Got by 30 trucks there. Clarence Bonner in 13th. Kevin Mingus in 14th. Brian Cross in 15th. Then we have Jason Stewart, Jim Foose, Tim Knott, Pete Baskins, and John Kennedy running out the top 20.
21st through 30th is Dylan Hickey in 21st, Jay Graves Jr. in 22nd, Andy Veltman in 23rd, Justin Rector in 24th, Michael Krobik in 25th. Then we have Troy Haight, Kenny Baker, Scott Holler, Mark Cohn, and Scott Smith, not speed, rounding out the top 30.
And the rest of the field, we have Brandon Kreutz coming home in 31st, Jared Haggerty in 32nd, Stephen Trombley 33rd, Jordan Harnish 34th, it's Kurt Quiz 35th, and Robbie Baskins in 36th, round out the field.
So that is the field here tonight. Again, we are just waiting a little bit here for these drivers to get into the server, into the booth to talk to us for their post-race interviews. I know we have at least Jordan Ashland, so let's give us a quick moment to see if anybody else pops in, and we'll start the post-race show here tonight. Well, looks like, you know what? Let's just go with it right now with who we got and get this action rolling. So, Evan, how about you talk to Jordan Ashland, our second place finisher tonight?
Well, we just got Mark Emerson. You want to talk to him?
Oh,
Let's talk to him first.
We'll go on our traditional.
Start with third.
Yeah, we'll start with third. We'll start traditional.
So, Mark, you come with the third place finish here at Kentucky after leading probably the most laps and absolutely dominating the middle portion of this race, but you just couldn't get it done. What are your thoughts after tonight's race?
That was actually a pretty good race. It was pretty fun to be racing with those top 3 guys right there. I mean, I didn't think I had the fastest truck around the whole race, but I got lucky with all my pit stops. I didn't overshoot anything. My crew was really fast.
It seemed like you were a little bit better, especially on the first run or two on the longer run. Is that kind of what you thought too?
Yeah, I felt like had a little bit more of an advantage on the longer run when I was running behind people, but towards the end of it, I was kind of just abusing my tires too much. It wasn't really having anything.
Well, one more question for you here. Next week, you get to tackle the dirt at Eldora. What do you think about that?
That's gonna be a very rough race. I don't know how it's gonna go. I've actually never raced at Eldora before. I actually had to purchase it, so it'll be probably like mayhem. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it should be a fun race to watch. Is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to here after your third place finish?
You guys for doing this broadcast, Jim Foose for putting on this league, and Jordan Ashland, my teammate, for running with me for these races, and being my teammate.
All right, well, once again, thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your third place finish.
Thanks.
And now Corey has caught up with second place finisher Jordan Ashland.
All right, Jordan, you take a second place finish here, but you pretty much threw everything at him except the kitchen sink and just couldn't quite get it done. Talk about what your mindset was there during that intense battle.
And it was fun, great racing. I just thought if he got under Mark, going to pass Mark for the lead, I thought I would get on the outside of him, and then I would get in second, and Mark would be in first, and then me and Mark could maybe duel it out, but it didn't work out that way. I had a couple chances at him. Didn't get the job done though. It was good racing by him though.
Yeah, and it did look like you tried as hard as you possibly could to race as clean as possible. You saw you had a couple chances maybe to door him up the track, but I think you definitely erred on the side of clean racing, so that is definitely something to be proud of as well, I'd say.
Yeah, I wanted to race him hard and clean, and definitely raced him hard.
So what was the truck handling like tonight here at Kentucky? We know under the lights a lot of times the trucks are a little bit tighter, but with the bumps here at Kentucky, what was it like behind the wheel?
It was 85 degrees, so it was a little hotter than I've been practicing at, and it would get loose if you hit the transitions. After about 10 laps, it would get loose on the longer runs and getting looser. And if you could save the tires a little bit by not hitting the transition. Yeah.
Yeah, so one more question, and I want to bounce off what Evan just asked Mark. What are your thoughts about hitting the dirt next week?
I've never raced a dirt race in my life.
Well, I think that says all we need to see. It'll be a good show. Hopefully you can get some practice in and get the feel of it, because it's going to be a fun race to watch. But congrats again on your second. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Thank you guys. Thank Jim for the league. Thank Jared for the good racing and sponsoring ASRS Cup Series. I want to thank Sam Maxwell for sponsoring the Truck Series.
All right, 10-4, brother. Congrats on the second. And I guess we'll just wish you good luck next week, because I don't think you have too much confidence in it yourself.
Thanks.
All right, now Evan Black will talk to the winner of tonight's race, Jared Mogard.
So, Jared, you came with a win, but it was not easy. You had Ashland and Emerson all over you there at the end. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was a fun race there. Them two were teammates, and you could definitely tell they wanted to bring the trophy back to their team. But it's fun. It was a clean race, which is a breath of fresh air after the last time we were leading the race. So, you know, we were faster than Mark there in that last stop, and just had to wait for the right opportunity to get by him, and made a somewhat bold move, and it stuck, and we kept it over the wall, and then we were able to hold off Jordan. We threw it in there a couple times, but we were smart enough that we were able to, you know, give each other enough room to put on a pretty good show here for the fans.
How is the truck handling out there for you? It seemed like a lot of drivers were struggling with a little bit tight trucks. How is it for you?
For me, it was pretty neutral. If anything, it was a little loose after turn 4 for me, especially as the run went on after about 15-20 laps. But the last pit stop there, we figured out a couple little minor things in our line, along with a couple little other tweaks to help us out there the last round, and that paid off.
So next week you get to hit the dirt. How do you feel about that? Do you have a lot of confidence going into it, or what do you think?
Yeah, pretty confident. You know, I've not really a specialty, but a lot of experience on the dirt. So between art factor and iRacing and stuff, so we should be up front. You know, the pre-race favorite I think is Brad Cross and Josh Walker, and them guys. They really excel whenever we go to dirt. But I think we can hang right with them, if not beat them next week.
Yeah, it should be a really fun race to watch. Is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to after your first place finish here at Kentucky?
Yeah, this one's special. This is the first win under the TCR racing banner, so this one's special. I just want to thank Nick Kaufman of Kaufman Race Graphics and Kuchi Race Reports for being on these trucks, and everybody that's on our team. Feels good to get the first one out of the way, so hopefully they come a little bit easier. And thanks to Jim and everybody at ASRS and everybody for watching, and you guys for doing the broadcast.
All right, thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your win here at Kentucky.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, so that is your top 3 finishers here tonight from the Kentucky Speedway. So we'll round out coverage tonight with some sponsor shout-outs. We have our PTRTV sponsors, Air Movement and Fabrications, Kreutz Custom Graphics, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, and we want to thank all of those sponsors for their support to the channel. Again, tonight's coverage was of the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. Hope you enjoyed the show. You can stay tuned to PTRTV on Friday night when we bring you the Hardline Racing League. And then next week, of course, will be the Integrity Racing League, hopefully technically allowing, as tonight was good. That'll be Monday night. And the ever-elusive Dirt Derby at Eldora next week for the trucks for the ASRS series, so that is going to be a show you do not want to miss. Signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black, Joe Chris behind the scenes. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you on Friday.